Welcome to What's Your Why. I'm Shauna with Platinum Insurance, and this is Tanya with TJP Quilting. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell me about your passion for quilting and where that came from.
I've just always sewn my whole life, and my grandmother quilted, and I kind of got excited about it, and so I started doing some quilts and just piecing them and putting them together.
So now, like, your hobby has become a passion of yours.
Yes.
And I think that's super important that we can remember the people that we love the most and be able to take the talents that they taught us and then turn it into something else for other people, because quilt is kind of like a dying art, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so I really appreciate learning about you. There's a couple different types of quilting, correct? So tell us about the type that you prefer to do.
Long arm quilting is what I'm really into. It's where people used to piece quilts and then do it by hand, and now they have a machine that you can just get on. It's like a big sewing machine, and you just stand up and guide it. Instead of putting your material through, you're guiding the machine to go around the material. So it's kind of just a little different, and it's just kind of, I don't know, I feel empowered when I do it.
Nice, I like that. One of the, you showed me this beautiful quilt, if you'd like to show that to everyone. I think something is super important. My grandmother passed away in the last year, and we were able to find some fabric in her belongings. Right. And you've since found some fabric that belonged to your grandmother, right. And now you're taking those pieces and making it into something that your family can have forever.
Right.
So tell us about how people can contact you if they find something like a remnant that they would like you to make something that they can have for their family forever.
You can take dresses, skirts, shirts. I've seen a lot of shirts made into quilts.
Oh, nice.
From their grandfather or their parents. I've even seen baby items taken and they quilted them, they applique them on, and then they sew them on and do all kinds of quilting with it. This one was another grandmother, my great-grandmother on my mom's side, and she did this when and gingham is way outdated, but she did this when she was in her 50s and 60s and would sell them to people because back then they needed blankets to put on their bed. But she just took what she had and put it together, and we found 5 of them. So it's like, oh, holy cow, I have so many fun things that I can do with it. And it's been a lot of fun just doing that. My other grandmother, she would piece them, and she did it up until she was 100 years old, and would piece quilts, and then she'd hand do the quilting. So my grandmother Moss never did the quilting. She just would piece them all together and then let everybody else put them together. So, but like I said, I like to do the long-armed, which is taking your machine and doing these little lines. I don't know if you can see all those little lines. And that's called freehand. And I don't have a pattern or anything. I look up and see what kinds of fun things I want to do, and then I just add it. So I did a quilt like this, and the whole quilt was just made with this design. But now they say this is called custom quilting. You do more than one design on the quilt.
And it's kind of like you're taking the old and putting a new spin on it.
Right.
So it's like something that, like, even someone getting married would be like, I remember my grandma's favorite, like yellow and browns and greens and oranges, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky when I get married. But you would never know that this was for how long ago it was put together.
Right.
You've really like freshened it up and made it so any bride would be like, oh my gosh, this is like history, and this is like in the making.
Right. In fact, I'm doing a quilt for a gal that her grandmother loved roses. And so she wanted some roses on her quilt. So I've been looking on Pinterest, my favorite place to go, and just getting ideas. And they have things that you can make. I don't know if I'm that good yet, but I try it.
It's beautiful.
You just try it and see how it goes. And that's how I found that I love the free motion, just doing it my own thing.
And something else that's really awesome is that you actually like to work with people outside of the state of Utah as well.
Right.
It's not just about in Utah, so you're willing to work with anyone, anywhere to make their quilting happiness come true, right?
That's true. Just shipping it there and getting it there is all that we worry about.
Well, thank you. I'm Shauna with What's Your Why, and this is Tanya with TJP Quilting. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you meeting with me.
Thank you.